Hey guys, it's John.
And Kimmy.
Sorry about the last video where our microphones weren't on and it picked up webcam audio. That was just a wonderful surprise to discover after it was over.
That was so disheartening.
We literally rolled out of bed and we came in here and we're like, let's record.
We're ready, let's do this.
Start recording. And we just didn't do our normal setup with all our vetting that we usually do to make sure everything's on and working.
It's like checking a cockpit, you know, where it's like flip, flip, flap.
Yeah.
Okay, is this ready? Good, go.
Flip, flip, flap.
Yeah, I know.
You were flapping a switch. Huh?
I sure was.
All right.
Ew.
But we're back with microphones fully engaged.
These are real.
So now we're going to find out. Luna wants to know what we should do now.
It looks like we have a lot of time until the primary doors open.
Yeah, about 80 minutes.
I'm worried about Quark's condition. Those pods can't cure Radical 6. He still needs help.
Well, we don't have anything to lose, so we might as well look for that medicine. Clover, right?
Yeah.
Medicines.
Oh, did it say medicines?
Yeah.
What about the rest of you?
Oh, I'll help.
Does no one proofread this? Does no one proofread these 80 billion lines of text?
No, they do. That's just like,
I know.
It happens. Yeah.
Kimmy and I went to a panel for Axis Games at PAX. The people who, worked on the localization.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
They were like, there's so much text.
They do a lot, yeah. And
like Danganronpa had more text than all three Lord of the Rings books put together, and those books have so many words.
And honestly, Virtue's Last Reward probably has about as many.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It's a huge game with lots of text, lots of different, unique situations.
These people are incredible.
As will I.
Me too.
Fine. I guess I can help.
What about you, Sigma?
Of course I'll help. What kind of a jerk wouldn't?
Okay. We should split up and search.
After betraying Quark, he's like, I'm not a jerk.
I'm not a monster.
I'm not a monster.
After some discussion, Dio and Kay were assigned to the pantry, Luna and Alice to the treatment center, and Clover, Phi, and myself to the pressure exchange chamber.
Shall we regroup in the Floor B warehouse 10 minutes before the doors open?
We all nodded. Kay turned to Alice and Luna. I hate you!
You are going to the treatment center, correct?
Yes.
Then please remember to tell Tenmyoji where we intend to meet and when.
Okay.
You must also remember to bring Quark with you. I am concerned about removing him from the pod, but it can't be helped. Without Quark's bracelet, Sigma and Tenmyoji will be unable to open the secondary door.
Right. Good. Looks like we got all that straightened out. Let's go.
With a final nod to one another, we split up, each team heading in a different direction.
Let's
Poor
go.
Quark.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Pressure exchange chamber.
So
We're
they've
back.
already done all the puzzles, so now we're just looking for something we know isn't here.
So, this is the pressure exchange chamber.
No, this is the prep room. There are 2 levels. The actual pressure exchange chamber is downstairs.
How do you know that?
Alice told me. She was one of the people who investigated this room.
Did you talk to her when you were waiting for us back in the warehouse?
Yeah.
No, we speak telepathically.
Well, let's head downstairs then.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the real thing.
Seems like it.
Why do they have something like this here?
Well, this is just what Alice told me, but
Apparently, the pressure inside the facility was a lot higher than the pressure outside. That was part of a system designed to keep the virus from getting in. It did mean, however, that we need to go through a decompression process in order to get outside.
remember all those suits along the wall of the prep room? Those keep you from getting infected. We won't even be able to enter the pressure exchange chamber if we don't have them on.
I see. Whoa. Well, that newspaper article was right.
Unfortunately, that seems pretty likely.
So the air out there is teeming with Radical 6.
Yeah.
Something's been bothering me.
What is it?
Aren't you saying that if we put on those suits, we can go into the pressure exchange chamber and go outside, right?
Oh. No, we can't do that. The door beyond the pressure exchange chamber is locked up tight.
Damn it. Just one door between us and freedom.
Well, if you look at it that way, it's the same as the number 9 door.
It looks like it's welded shut.
Yeah, it does. Okay, yeah, but...
It still sucks.
Whatever. We need to be focusing on finding that Accelavir. Quark needs it.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll go look around
love
upstairs.
Phi. I love Phi so much. Whatever.
You two take this floor, all right?
Got it.
Okay.
I love how she's just always like, it doesn't matter. We looked everywhere we could think of, but turned up nothing. Eventually, I couldn't keep my mouth shut any longer.
Hey, what do you think the deal is with this stuff about the world being infested with some crazy virus? A pandemic seems like it would make the news, but I don't remember hearing anything. Wait a minute. You mentioned it, didn't you? Back when Dio was asking questions. We were in the infirmary. It was right after Quark lost it.
Have any of you guys heard anything about any sort of viral pandemic?
Well, no. But
And then Alice said,
I have heard rumors about a virus being used as a bioweapon.
so what's the rumor she was talking about? Got the feeling you and Alice were talking about the same thing. Clover, what do you know? What are you and Alice anyway? I heard you guys belong to some sort of organization, but what is it?
Clover was quiet for a long time. She bit her thumbnail and looked down at the floor. Then finally, she lifted her head and met my eyes.
fine. I think I can trust you. Just don't tell Alice, okay?
All right.
Promise?
Promise.
Sure.
We didn't betray Quark after all.
We're not a monster.
And we totally could have.
Yeah. We didn't try to escape. Clover nodded and began to talk. I listened with rapt attention, at a complete loss for words. He doesn't strike me as a fellow who would use the term rapt.
He's used some nice words before.
He has. Here's what she said. Alice and I are agents of the SOIS, which is under the jurisdiction of the Department of Defense. SOIS stands for Special Office of Internal Security, and we're an elite intelligence division that investigates potentially disruptive or dangerous elements, such as domestic or foreign terrorists, radical political splinter groups, and religious organizations with extreme agendas that could pose a threat to the state or citizenry. Our existence hasn't been made public, so there are only a few people who even know we exist. You're probably wondering how I even got involved in something like that, huh? Well, it started when I met Alice. Oh my god, it's happening. It's happening! I'm so excited. I told you that I've played the nonary game twice before, right? Well, this was after the second time, so about a year ago. We just escaped, and we were all stuffed into this SUV barreling across the desert. In Nevada. I was driving, and that's when I saw her. Alice. She was standing next to the road with her thumb out. And her boobs. She was already working for the SOIS, and she'd been on her way to the building we'd been trapped in as part of her investigation. But on the way there, her car had broken down. We offered to give her a ride, of course. After she got in, we started talking, and it turned out that Alice had gotten a tip that the terrorists she was after were in the building we'd been trapped in. We couldn't see how us playing the nonary game had anything to do with the terrorists, but Alice had a suggestion. Maybe the two people who trapped you in there are the terrorists. That didn't seem very likely to us, but we were chasing after them anyway, so we decided to bring Alice with us. Unfortunately, we didn't find them. As far as we know, they're still out there now, on the run. Anyway, we were taken back to SOIS headquarters and put into custody. I guess they thought there had to be some kind of connection between us being kidnapped and the terrorist group they were investigating. But they must not have found anything because after a few days of questioning, they let us go. We all went home and returned to our lives. But things didn't go back to the way they'd been. My mom got real worried about me and my brother since we'd gotten kidnapped twice now, so she hired bodyguards for us. Oh, I haven't told you about my brother, have I? He's super awesome for one. And he was in both of the last two nonary games too. So anyway, we'd been grabbed twice. But the people behind the two nonary games are totally different. That didn't matter to my mom though. So after that, all these huge men in black suits followed me and my brother everywhere. It was awful. We were always being watched. People would look at us funny because we were being followed around by a bunch of creepy-looking guys. I couldn't stand it. Just when I thought I'd finally be free, all that was waiting for me was another kind of prison. The only time I was really happy was when I was hanging out with my brother. So we were talking it over one day, and we decided to leave. Like, run away. So we did it. After that, we lived on our own. I worked in a cafe, and he composed music. Of course he did.
He did mention that his hearing is exceptional in 999, so, you know.
I'm proud of him. He plays the harp, and he started writing this kind of new agey music. It got kind of popular, so we didn't have to worry too much about surviving. Sometimes he'd play at little venues like coffee houses and stuff, and his fans would show up and listen to him play and cry. Or some of them would meet on their own and recite stuff from the book he'd written and play his songs. I know that sounds kind of like weird and culty, but they just do that stuff on their own, okay? My brother doesn't have anything to do with it. Anyway, we did that for a while, and then one day, Alice showed up. I need your help, she told us. We need people who can do what you can do. So we went to the location she gave us, and it turned out to be the headquarters of the SOIS, where they'd taken us after the second nonary game. They put us in a room with about a dozen or so other people who are all about the same age as us. A bunch of them looked familiar, too. It only took a moment to realize how we all knew each other. They were the kids from the first nonary game. We were all excited to see each other again, and we were hugging and shaking hands and stuff. And then Alice walked in. The whole room went quiet. She walked up to the podium and looked around the room, making eye contact with each one of us. Right now, a terrorist organization is preparing for a major attack. They plan to trigger a viral pandemic. If they succeed, they will strike a massive blow against all of humanity, not just any one country. It's possible that we, as a species, will die out completely. We are doing our best to prevent this, but we need your help. You are what we call Espers. You have the ability to access the morphogenetic field. We need that. I realize I can only say morphogenetic when I see it. And directly right after. I'm guessing you don't know what any of that is, but basically we can do... I'm guessing you don't know what any of that is, but basically we can do this thing that's kind of like telepathy. I mean, it isn't really telepathy, but that's probably the closest thing, okay? Espers can resonate their consciousness with another person through this thing called the morphogenetic field. The purpose of the first nonary game was to research that ability. So they kidnapped kids who had the potential to do it and threw them into the game. Alice had gathered up all the kids from that experiment. Well, I mean, it had been 9 years since it happened, so we weren't really kids anymore. Anyway, everybody she brought in was an Esper. That included me and my brother, of course. I bet you think I'm just making all this up, huh? I don't blame you. It is pretty crazy. I mean, I was even starting to forget I could do that stuff. So when I heard Alice's story, I was like, screw that! I was trying to move on with my life, and now some shady government creeps wanted me to use some weird ability I had for them? No way! I wasn't even sure I could do it anymore. Some of the others felt differently, though, and they told Alice they'd do it. It was a job, after all, and most people wouldn't turn down a salary like that. Oh, right, I forgot to tell you. She told us how much they'd pay us if we helped. It was a lot. More wealth than you can imagine. But I was still totally against doing it. My brother told me he'd go along with whatever I decided, so I decided we were leaving. A couple of days passed, and then Alice showed up at our apartment. She didn't waste time. The people behind the first nonary game might have been part of the terrorist organization Alice and the SOIS were after. Wasn't that, she asked, something that I might want to know more about? That got me curious. My brother too. But then the clincher was what Seven said to us. He was one of the guys that got abducted with us for the second nonary game. And he rescued us from the first nonary game. Kind of important detail.
Well, she wasn't there for that.
Oh, only Snake was.
Only Snake was, yeah.
That's right. But she would still know. Whatever.
Yeah.
She called him on her phone right then and there and handed it to us.
You guys are the only people who can do this.
We don't know. Do you want to do Seven's voice?
We don't know where Junpei is. He's gone off to travel the world, looking for Akane. I haven't been able to get a hold of him. Please, just do me a favor and help Alice out.
Junpei equals like Seven, another participant from the second nonary game. Akane, one of the people behind the second nonary game. Seven was a Japanese policeman, which was probably how Alice got in touch with him. Anyway, that did it. My brother and I agreed to join the SOIS. The SOIS.
The SOIS.
Let's call it the SOIS.
The SOIS.
Come on, come join the SOIS.
We gotta find the SOIS.
I love it. For the next couple months, all we did was train. Half of the time, it was general knowledge and technical skills and SOIS agent needed, and the other half was learning to strengthen our Esper abilities. They'd actually known about Espers for quite a while, and had a lot of techniques that helped us get better and stronger. After several months of hard work, we were finally ready for our first field missions. Mine was an infiltration. My brother stayed at the base, so I could relay information back through him. I was supposed to sneak into a research facility, posing as one of their workers, and then use the morphogenetic field to transmit what I found back to my brother. But everything went wrong. It was a trap. The whole research facility was faked, and I got captured. Alice had come and rescued me, Oh, Alice had to come and rescue me. I'd been sending information about the inside of the facility to my brother, and Alice used that information to come and find me. As soon as she got there, she picked me up and carried me out. I was relieved and happy to be alive and free, but I also felt ashamed and miserable. While she was carrying me back out, I started to cry. She was just so cool, and I wasn't. I wanted to be just like her. So from that day onward, I did everything I could to be more like Alice. Our infiltration ended in failure, but we did manage to get something useful. In fact, we were able to figure out where their headquarters was. The directors decided that December 25th, 2028 would be the day we would strike.
That's the day that Sigma was kidnapped.
It sure was. This time, I promised myself we wouldn't screw it up. I was finally going to get some answers about something that had been with me for most of my life. But then, on December 22nd, 3 days before the raid, Alice and I were attacked by people in gas masks while we were going over our plans. So more than one person. People.
People in gas masks.
Not person.
Which is interesting, because in 999, the person in the gas mask is arguably Santa.
Right.
But it was just one.
Right.
Yeah. When you woke up, you were in the warehouse. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have such a hard time with her voice. Yeah. All of that
talking seemed to have tired Clover out.
I'm trying to get the voices right.
She sighed, and her long hair swayed as she moved.
I don't like your Sigma voice.
I'm working on it, all right?
I've got some questions. That's what it sounds like.
Hey, I've got some questions.
I've got a few questions.
What are they?
Well, first off, your powers, I guess.
See, that's exactly how he talks.
I'm guessing you can't use them right now.
Yeah. I'm not really sure why. I've been sending my brother messages ever since I woke up, but...
No response.
Yeah. If there was another Esper here, they could make me stronger. But that's just wishful thinking. Wait.
What?
Well, if there's someone else who's stronger than me, then they kind of absorb my powers. Maybe... No, never mind. That's probably not it.
Or that probably is it. Who's an Esper?
Yeah, who else is an Esper?
What if it's Dio?
Right. Whatever. Well, let's see. We know that Junpei's not an Esper. So if Tenmyoji is Junpei, that wouldn't be an issue. Other than that, I mean, we don't know. Alice clearly isn't.
Right.
Right.
Because she would know that if Alice was.
Yeah, she would know. Yeah.
And Alice would always be sucking up her energy.
Yeah. I have some other questions, so moving on. I think I understand what Alice was talking about now. They were trying to spread that virus, right?
Yeah. No, Junpei is an Esper.
Oh yeah, he is.
Because he esped with Akane.
Yeah, I guess because he was the receiver to her transmitter.
Yeah.
To be fair, to be honest, they kind of dropped the transmitter receiver thing after 999, and they just say Esper as like an umbrella term.
Yeah.
From what I can tell.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess he is an Esper.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Tenmyoji and Quark were Espers.
Both of them. Wow.
Like receivers, sender.
Okay. So who are they?
Well, I can't tell you that.
What? Why not? You told me all that other stuff, but this is too much?
Well, Alice would be mad at me.
I already told you. I wouldn't tell her.
But...
Fine. Let me rephrase. Where are they going to do it?
Well, if we knew that, we wouldn't have gone to all that trouble.
So you don't know?
No. All we know is soon.
That could mean just about anything.
Yeah. It could be next week or next month or even next year. Or it could have happened already.
And they're talking about the virus bomb
Yeah.
weapon.
Wait. You mean they might have already released the virus?
Wouldn't that make the most sense? Like, how about this room? Or that newspaper article? And the 3 people who were put in cold sleep.
Are you saying you, me, and Alice were frozen? And the pandemic happened while we were on ice?
I don't like the idea of them being on ice.
Wait. No, that doesn't make sense. Nobody else has heard of Radical 6 either.
Maybe they're lying.
Really? All 6 of them?
Well, if Kay really does have memory loss, then it's only 5. Quark is out too.
So you're saying Tenmyoji, Dio, Phi, and Luna are all lying?
But how would they know to lie?
I guess they are a little suspicious.
Right?
And what's their motive?
For lying? How would I know?
And what's the motive for a terrorist organization to start a pandemic?
I heard it was something about purifying the unclean?
Purifying the unclean?
Oh, unclean. Unclean. Unclean.
Please say it
Unclean.
more. Great, thank you.
What? What are you doing?
Shut up. Just hold on a minute. I'm this close to remembering. Unclean. Clean. Een.
She leapt up, suddenly excited.
Neostigmine.
Neo, what?
Did you forget it already? I'm talking about this stuff.
As she spoke, she pulled something out of her pocket.
You're like newscaster Sigma.
That could work for these narration parts.
It was the injection gun, complete with a vial of medication.
Oh, right. I remember that. It was in the safe in the treatment center, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have any idea what it was, though, so I gave it to you.
Exactly.
You're saying you've heard about this neostigmine stuff before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just remembered.
You remembered?
My brother told me about that. Neostigmine is a type of colon esterase inhibitor. That means it's a sort of antidote for tubocurarine.
What?
Tubocurarine is what's in their bracelets that kills them.
Isn't it a mixture of that and something that starts with an S?
Sopril. The Sopril just anesthetizes you, so you don't feel the pain of dying.
Yeah, the tuber or whatever.
The tubocurarine, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I still don't get it.
How easy do I have to make it?
Easy!
Okay, fine. I'll start
you.
at the top, all right? The stuff I've got in here is neostigmine, which counteracts the muscle relaxant tubocurarine. Following me?
Tubocurarine is the poison in our bracelets, right?
Right. It's the second thing we get injected with if we're penalized.
Don't like the way they say penalized.
Penalized.
Is the silver real? Which puts you to sleep. 9 minutes later, the tubocurarine is injected, numbing your respiratory muscles. I guess you could say it'll really take your breath away.
So, I forgot that there's 9 minutes.
Yeah.
I thought that it was like 90 seconds or something.
That's why in the ending where we die,
Right.
we just had like the Sopril in us, which anesthetizes us and makes us all like weak.
Right.
But
that's why it took
we have
so long. And
9 minutes until the tubocurarine is injected.
Because I remember thinking like this is the like longest 90 seconds I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, because it was 9 minutes. Okay.
Well, Zero has an obsession with 9, so you know.
Naturally.
So you're saying this neostigmine keeps it from working?
Yes! Oh my god, how many times are you going to make me say it?
So we can just inject ourselves with this if we get penalized.
Yeah! We don't have to die. We're gonna be okay. We can only pull the trigger once, though.
That means we can only use it on one person.
Yeah.
What was that? Did you hear that, like...
No?
Oh, that was weird.
Well, it's still cool. It's still good?
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's still good. This means one of us could break the rules once. Like, let's see.
The best way to use it would be for sneaking through the number 9 door. If somebody gets 9 points, they can open it, right? With this stuff, somebody who doesn't have 9 points could still leave with them. Anyway, I'm gonna go tell Alice.
What? Hey! Clover, wait! Clover!
It was too late. Clover was already on the lift and gone.
Okay. Damn.
I was, I think understandably, upset. With no stairs, my only choice was to wait for the lift to come back down.
I can only hear his
Talking
voice.
like Captain Holt is what you're doing. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Watch it.
Which is like the greatest
You guys probably-
compliment I could give to Sigma. Let's be
You guys are probably
real.
too busy watching crappy anime shows.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is really worth it. It's good.
If it's not Yuri on Ice, I don't know what it is.
As soon as it was back, I jumped on and headed upstairs.
I love Captain Holt so much. Oh, look at Fi!
Bye. Where'd Clover go? Bye. Can you hear me?
She didn't say anything, just stared at me with her mouth half open.
You could just narrate it normally.
Okay. Her eyes seemed slightly glazed and her body was unnaturally stiff. Sorry. Her eyes seemed slightly glazed and her body was unnaturally stiff.
In case you haven't noticed, something serious is going on.
I'm trying to be serious.
Her eyes were slightly glazed.
Her eyes were slightly glazed and her body was unnaturally stiff.
Get all out of your system.
Okay, that was it.
Fi?
I grabbed his shoulder and shook her gently. Slowly, she raised her arm, fingers drooping limply from it. Dish. She gestured toward the exit that led away from the warehouse.
That way? She went out that door?
Fi's only answer was a slow, shallow nod.
Right. Got it. Thanks.
I headed for the exit, then paused.
You look pretty tired. Get some rest, all right?
No, something's wrong with her.
I know, right?
Still no response. Go back. There was something odd about her, but catching Clover seemed like more of a priority. I turned back around and jogged out the door toward the treatment center. Sigma, you're an idiot. What's Fi's number on her bracelet now?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's...
Is it 6?
I want to say it's 6, yeah. Huh? This is weird. Where is everybody?
I'd assume Alice would be in the treatment center, so Clover would have gone there to find her, but the room was empty. Luna and Tenmyoji were gone too.
They left Quark, and the readout on his pod said his vital signs were still normal.
So Quark is still in here. As far as I could tell, he was still asleep. I'm teasing.
It's hard when
I
I know the I is referring to the character I'm voicing.
I know.
Fine. Guess it's time to go look somewhere else.
Would it be helpful if I said he made his way out of
That's
the
what you
treatment?
used to do.
Do you want me to do that again? All I need is communication.
That's what you used to do.
Did you like that? Did you like that? Do you want me to do that?
I prefer.
Thank you.
That.
He made his way out of the treatment center. I just didn't get any feedback either way, so I just read it as it was. Wait, what's this room?
The pantry. Where is everybody? They're not in either the warehouses, the pantry, the lounge.
This isn't good. Are they playing the AB game without us?
All the doors are closed though.
Go
No,
back
because
to 5.
we've already done the AB game.
I thought it said that we could play the AB game as many times as we wanted.
If we have star keys, but nobody has star keys.
Oh.
This is the crew quarters. What the hell? What's going on here? Can't find anybody. Every single room is empty. Wait. Still one place I haven't checked. The infirmary.
Oh, can we go in there now?
We've always been able to go into the infirmary.
All right. He ran into the room and stopped short. He might as well have run into a brick wall. His chest tightened so much he could barely breathe.
No. What happened?
He felt his whole body convulse, whether from terror or nausea, he couldn't tell. His legs went limp and he crumpled to the floor. Something sticky pressed against the palm of his hand, and he looked down to see blood. A vast, warm pool of fresh blood stretching out across the room, lapping at his legs and hands.
Why? This can't be real. How could...
In the middle of the lake of blood, like an island of flesh, were bodies. They were a bloody tangle of lifeless limbs and dead eyes, with too much blood and chaos for him to tell who was who. Had they sliced themselves open? Or stabbed one another? He couldn't tell. All the blood. Too much blood. Whatever they'd done, it was clear what tool they'd used to do it. A scalpel lay in the blood next to them, its handle and blade streaked with gore. This was how they died. This tiny blade.
Oh God. This is it. It's all over. This is how it ends. That's right. I have to end it. This nightmare will finally be over. Time to wake up.
His fingers scraped across the floor as he picked up the scalpel. He lifted it slowly, carefully to his neck, as if someone were guiding his hand with theirs, and drew it across his throat. Oh, we got Radical Sixth!
Interesting that not everyone's body was in that room.
Yeah, Quark was still in the pod, and I don't think Kay was in there.
Kay was not in there, or Quark.
Yeah. Where was Kay?
Whoa.
That's the end of the game. That's it.
I clicked, so we skipped through it finally. This was the Clover ending.
But at least we found out what happened with her and Snake. More or less.
Right? So, guys,
we can't get to those last two yet until we unlock something.
Yeah, and so when I did this, I did all this first, like Temioji's entire route first, right? Mm-hmm. When I got there, and Clover was like, Neostigmine counteracts Tubocurary, and I was like, that's what we need for right here. But it's not.
That would make sense, though.
Yeah. And so I went back to this lock, and then just the same thing happened. So just so you know, we can't go here yet.
Otherwise, it would be green like that other one, right?
No, it's only green when you pass it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't really tell you when you can go back to it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wish it would at least change color.
Right, like on the 999 flowchart where it tells you when you've unlocked something.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it does, but I haven't ever noticed that.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to have to, on Monday, pick a new route, which you have chosen to do Luna next.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I listed out the order that I want to go in. So it was Tenmyoji, Luna, then Alice, because I feel like saving Alice for last just...
Yeah.
It makes me real excited saving the best for last.
And I agree with that. I think it's the...
Best route to go.
This is the best way to play it, is Tenmyoji, Luna, Alice. With that said, I think that the Tenmyoji endings are the most underwhelming.
Okay.
I think that some of the best ones are in the other two. So, but I think this is all good setup information.
Yeah.
It's good setup to get like some on Tenmyoji's backstory, Clover's backstory, which honestly I think Clover's little monologue is like the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I was excited to kind of learn what happened after the end of the last game.
We knew that they had the secret headquarters and all.
Yeah, but we didn't know what it was. Now we know it's the SOIS.
I just figured it was something like that. I don't know. I didn't really like it, but I understand.
I got excited.
I understand if you did. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
I love you. I'm excited to learn more about Luna because she's so blasé as a character to me right now. Like, she's really boring. Because she's always just like this. She's very Mikan.
Yeah. I will say this middle route, you learn a lot about Tenmyoji, Quark, and Clover. Mm-hmm. And, like, we have never gone through a room with Alice or Luna or Kay. So
we have with who's the only one left?
Dio.
Yeah. We've gone through a room with Dio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we still don't really know anything about him.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm excited to learn more about the other characters because I think they have a lot to offer.
Yeah. So on Monday we'll come back and we'll start up Luna's route back here.
Yes.
Way back here. So we'll have to shift gears a little bit, and you'll have to remember that we're going way back, and none of the stuff that happened over here actually happened yet.
Right.
And the game is pretty good about varying things up, so you won't see the exact same things happen over and over and over again.
That's nice.
When you change routes like that.
So, like, we're not going to see Quark get sick every single time or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I may be wrong about that example, but this is the only one.
Different things will happen.
Okay.
So
I'm excited. This game, so I am starting to like it more than the first game.
Yeah.
And I really liked the first game. I still prefer the first game's art style, but you're right. This art style has grown on me.
I like Virtue's Last Reward a lot as a sequel to 999 because it's like, I don't know. I think you have to play 999 or experience it to appreciate this at all.
Yeah, because otherwise you don't have any setup.
I know some people who just like played this first, and I don't get it. But
because this has so many other elements to it that the first game didn't have, like the colored doors and the betray ally system.
Well, it's got more variance to it,
and it refers to characters that you knew in the first game.
Right? Yeah, there's clearly a connection.
Yeah,
and you won't be able to appreciate like what Clover's here or like. You know, Tenmyoji has a photo of Akane.
Yeah, what the hell?
You won't be able to appreciate that unless you played 999.
And when Clover talks about talking to Seven, like, it was cool to hear from Seven.
Yeah.
You know? No, I'm very excited.
And she mentioned Snake and, you know.
Because I really want Kay to be Snake. Mm-hmm. But that's seemingly less and less likely.
Yeah.
But I'm still kind of holding out hope.
It's a big mystery. Well, we'll see you guys on Monday.
Belle bids you adieu. Think critically.